Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Live Flow Grow. My name is Christina. Today's video on I'm going to show you how to do a wheel pose, Urdhvadhanurasana. I'm going to show you a couple of steps to get to the pose, how safely to get out of the pose, and a couple of props you can use to really improve your approach for it. For today's tutorials, I highly recommend you having your blocks with you. If you don't have blocks, books will do it. We're going to begin in puppy pose with the blocks. So place the blocks down, hands on the blocks, lift the hips, keep them right on top of your knees as you allow your chest to sink. That's a shoulder opener. And we're gonna stay here for at least 5 breaths. If this is too much for you, you can play with the height of the blocks. And you can slide a block underneath your chest, like that. If your forehead can touch the ground, you can let it rest on the mat. Now press yourself up. Slowly remove the blocks to the side. Do puppy pose without the blocks. So reach the arms forward, let your heart drop. See if your chin can touch the mat. If you don't have that shoulder opening yet, if your chin cannot touch the mat, then play with the blocks until your shoulders are open enough for your chin to touch the mat before you try the next step for wheel pose. Two more breaths here. From here, I want you to slide forward, coming into Sphinx pose. Roll the shoulders back and down. Send the heart forward, pull the chest through the arms, keep your legs active, pull your belly in to protect your lower back. Here you can play with the hands as well, moving them forward and moving them backwards in towards you. One more breath. Release that. Let your forehead rest down on the mat as you bend the right knee in and pull the right heel in towards your midline. Another thing that needs to be really open for your wheel pose is your quads. So we're gonna open the quads at the same time as we open the front body. And release your right leg, left knee bends, left heel in, pull the left heel. Release that, right leg in. This time I'm gonna reach with both hands and see if you can grab our foot. Now press the foot into the hands and lift the chest up. One more breath. Release. And left foot comes in, left hand on the foot, and now right hand meet the left one. Lift the chest up, send the foot back as you open through the collarbones. That might be too much on your low back. If that's the case, just back off and stay where you feel comfortable, where your breath can flow. That's the most important thing. Release that. And we're gonna do bow pose. Both feet comes in, both heels comes in. Grab your feet with your hands and push the feet into the hands and send the heart up. That's maybe enough for you. If you want to go a little bit deeper into bow pose, lift the knees up as you keep pushing the feet into the hands. The gaze is down, the neck is long. And release. Extend the legs, extend the arms out to the side. Rest on one of your cheeks. Really warm up before you start this routine for wheel pose. Your body needs to be warm, your muscles needs to be warm, so you can open. Now turn and rest on the other cheek. Going to lay all the way back down on your back. Take one of your blocks with you. Keep your feet on the mat. Make sure they're hip width apart. So take your hands and see if you can touch your heels with your fingers. If you can, that's a good sign. If you cannot, then you have to move your heels in towards you. When you have that, I want you to press your block between your thighs and squeeze your block with your thighs. Engage your inner thighs, engage your quads, and lift the hips up. See if you can release your buttocks down. Your tailbone should be lengthening down towards your knees as you are reaching your heels up and away from the mat. Your knees are parallel to each other, your feet are parallel. Press the backs of your shoulders down, the back of the head is down, puff the chest up a little bit and release. Lift up, squeeze the block with your quads, but don't squeeze too much with your buttocks so your low back can lengthen. And release. One more time, lift up and release. Remove your block. Now we're gonna keep that same action of squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, keeping the feet parallel but without the block. So lift, legs are active, the buttocks relax so your lower back can open. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the knees. Clasp your hands underneath the sitting bones, push the hands down as you puff the chest up. See if you can lift the hips a little bit higher. One more breath. Release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Bring the hands in the back of the knees, rock up and down, coming into seated position. The next thing we have to open is the inside of the upper arm. So I want you to take your right hand, bend the elbow, and place the hand on the base of the neck. Take your left hand and pull the elbow back, away from you. Really feeling that stretch here on the inside of your right upper arm. If that's okay with you, if you want to go a little bit deeper, take the right hand, turn it around, bend the elbow, and see if you can clasp your hands the back of your back. Send the elbows back. Good, release that. Shake your hands. We're gonna do the other side. Left arm up and over the head. Left elbow bends. Take your right hand and pull your left elbow back away from you. Feel the stretch in your left inner arm and breathe into it. Next step, right hand clasp on the back of the back. For the left hand, pull the elbows away from each other, send them back away from you. This is how my hands look like. And again, if this is too much, you can just stay here. And if you don't have the clasp, I'm not recommending you going for a full expression of wheel pose. The next step is to use your blocks to bring the mat, the floor up. I don't like using the blocks on my hands because most of the time they're sliding and I cannot really ground down and use my hands to lift my chest up and really arch my spine. But I like using them for my feet. So I'm going to show you this variation. So place the blocks towards the back of the mat in the long side of the block and make sure they're like wide enough as your hips. Place your feet on them and lay down. Now you can just play with it as you lift the hips up and see how it feels. You should be able to ground down through your feet and feel really stable. If that's okay and you're happy with it, then take the right arm up, place the palm, fingers pointing in towards you, elbow in, don't let your elbows splay out. So keep the elbow in, hugging in towards the midline. Left hand the same way. Pull your belly in as you press yourself up and come on the crown of the head, but don't rest on your neck. From here, press up into the feet, into the hands. Your feet are parallel to each other. Your hands are parallel. Allow your buttocks to relax so your lower back can open. And slowly come back down the same way you went up. Hug your knees in towards the chest. If that was a good try for you and you want to try it without the blocks, the next step is the one for you. If the one with the blocks is too much, you can try placing something underneath the hands, but my advice is if you do that, be next to the wall so it won't move, so you're really stable. Last step. You should be really warmed up, your body should be really open, and you should have been trying the other steps, and you should have been really feeling good into those poses before you're attempting the last one. Okay. Come to lay down on your back, feet parallel, hip width apart. Find your ground, really ground down through the four corners of the feet. Place the hands down, palms facing down. Lift the hips up and release. One more time, lift the hips up. Engage your quads to lengthen the low back. Send the tailbone down and release. Last one. And release. If that went well, flip your hands, fingertips in, elbows in, don't let them splay out. The same thing with the knees. You have to keep them right on top of your heels. Find your roots and lift the hips up. Find the crown of the head. From here, lift all the way up into your wheel pose. Keep lifting the chest up, strengthening the arms. One more breath. And slowly release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side, massaging your whole back body. I hope that you liked that tutorial. Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you.